this is the Provoked Prawn, and here I'm comparing the Logitech G Pro X2 with the Razer Blackshark V2 Pro 2023 edition. I want to talk to you about the differences between these two headsets, what they're like to use, and the various features of them. I've reviewed both, and I'll link to those videos in the description, where I went into more depth on them, but here I want to show you them side by side, talk about the highlights of each, the sound, and obviously do a mic test as well, so you can hear the microphones compared later on in the video, and talk about the other things of interest about them. What's nice and what isn't. Now, these are upgrades to the previous models by the same name, so it's worth paying attention to that. This is the Logitech G Pro X2 Lightspeed, not the original G Pro X. And then the Razer Blackshark 2023 edition. It's very important to pay attention to that because there's slight differences there. Now, you'll see that the Blackshark V2 Pro comes with a number of cables. You've got USB-C charging cable with fast charging capabilities, 2.4 gigahertz dongle for wireless connectivity, and obviously you also have an extension cable to plug things in and get them close to your desk if you need it. Good solid signal from the wireless dongle as you'd expect, and obviously customizable sound in Razer's Synapse software, which I'll get to later on. This is also a tuned headset designed for competitive play, and one that also features Bluetooth connectivity, so you can use it with your phone or other Bluetooth devices, though it is worth noting you can't use both signals at the same time, so you have to switch between the two by pressing the button on the headset. You'll see that you have the removable microphone as well as an LED indicator on there to let you know when charge is running low. Now, the G Pro X2 has a number of cables included in there as well. You'll notice it also comes with two sets of ear cushions, very important because I'll get to the comfort later on. You'll also see it has a 3.5mm and USB-C cables in there. And if I put the two side by side just to show you all the different things that are included, you get an idea that both have a lot, but the G Pro X2 has more. There's more connectivity options with the G Pro X2, thanks to both 3.5mm, wireless, and Bluetooth. That's right, this headset also has Bluetooth capabilities, but again, not dual connectivity, so you can't connect to your phone and to your PC at the same time. You have to switch between those sources so it doesn't mix it in, which is a shame because SteelSeries, for example, does have that flexibility. Now, with the wireless dongles, there's an interesting design to the Logitech one as well, where there's a 3.5mm jack on the wireless dongle. So you not only got Lightspeed wireless technology from Logitech, but you also have the ability to mix in more. So that 3.5mm connection means that you can plug in a 3.5mm cable into that, which is included in the box, and then the other end can be connected up to other things, whether that's your phone or an external microphone. So, for example, I've got it here with the Elgato Wave XLR. So this means that you can mic monitor an external microphone. So if you have a fancier microphone, XLR microphone, or a USB microphone, you can mic monitor externally and wirelessly with ease. So you can see here, for example, the HyperX Quadcast S, you can do that. So it's worth noting that there's a 3.5mm connection on the dongle, but there's also one on the headset as well. So you can plug things directly into the headset with 3.5mm. So you can see there's a lot of different connection options here. Razer doesn't have this advantage. Unfortunately, you can't do the same thing with Razer, but that is a very rare feature on most wireless headsets, I'll be honest. I'm really pleased to see it with the Logitech G Pro X2. Now, if I put the two headsets side by side, I want to talk about comfort for a minute. You'll see they're quite similar in sort of their shape and size, and the ear cushions are also similarly sized. The Razer headset has these cloth ear cushions, which I don't like, if I'm honest. They are comfortable in terms of not getting too hot and also having some good cushioning on them, but they are quite scratchy for my ears. I don't really like them that way. The Logitech G Pro X2 has removable ear cushions. You've got a faux leather setup or these very soft cloth ear cushions, which are much more comfortable and pleasant to wear. This means that you've got the choice where you can switch between the two, so either faux leather for passive noise cancellation or the very soft cloth for a more comfortable feel. And I really like the cloth material on there. It's very soft. And comparing these two headsets just on comfort basis, I would purely pick the Logitech headset because it's much nicer in terms of that cloth, very soft. However, that isn't to say the Razer is not comfortable because it has a very lightweight design to it. It doesn't nag at the head. It is easy to wear for hours and hours, so it is worth bearing that in mind. And you'll see that the headband is also nice and flexible and durable too. It has an interesting design here where you can basically adjust with these two prongs that come out of the top of the headset, as you can see, and it has some tilt in it as well, so it is customizable there. The G Pro X has a more solid, well, I believe anyway, durable aluminium headband. Whether it will stand up to time I don't know, but it certainly seems solid at this point. And you can see that it also has the ability to twist and tilt in a variety of different directions, so you can reposition it fairly easily. And I think it will fit with more head shapes and sizes as well. But they're both wonderful in that sort of fit and very comparable in terms of the clamping force on the head as well. So if I pop the headsets on, and you can see what they look like and how they fit on my head, they're both pretty suitable in terms of just the size and shape and how extendable they are. I think the Logitech has the advantage, as you'll see, because Razer's ear cups aren't as maneuverable once you've got them on. You don't have that side to side, back and forth tilt. You can tilt them up and down, but with the Logitech, you've got more pivot in the ear cups, which I think is a better design. I also believe that aluminium design of the headband is just thicker. It seems like that would last longer. However, that would require long-term tests, so that's just my opinion at the moment. Whether that matters after a year of use or either of these remains to be seen. But I do think it's nice and extendable, and also you can lay these headphones flat, which you can't do with the Razer. So you can do this, sit them on your shoulders, put them on your desk, or whatever else. Now, in terms of gaming performance, there are some differences in the sound, so I want to talk about that now. The G Pro X2 has been upgraded from the previous model, and it does have 50mm drivers, but they do deliver a really rich sound. I think this headset's got more bass, certainly more bass than the Razer headset. Also has a range of audio options that you can customize within the G Hub software, and you can also use DTS Headphone X 2.0 for some spatial sound. Now, I will note that with that turned on, I actually found that some of the other audio gets muddied, so it's really good for positional audio and sort of gameplay sound. But one thing that I did find is that if I was listening to music with that turned on, it actually muddied some of the vocals and didn't make music as good. So it's worth playing around with the settings and testing them out. However, I found it was pretty rich in a variety of different games. It's got a good satisfying sound to it, nice and loud headset, and easy to listen to for gaming and for music, as long as you just play it around with the settings a bit. So that's my preference in terms of the sound, but it's going to vary. Obviously, your personal opinion might be different, and so I want to be as fair as possible, because the Razer Blackshark V2 Pro isn't as bassy. So if you're after a headset with less bass, then this is the one to go for. But also it has tuned audio that I'll show you in a second, which is basically aimed at esports gamers. So if you're into competitive gaming, competitive shooters and things like that, and this headset's probably better because it allows you to focus more on the footsteps. If you don't like bass and just want a more open soundscape, natural sounding, where you can actually hear what's going on a bit more, then this is the one. I personally found that it didn't have the bass for me. It wasn't as rich sounding as I'd like, and so for racing games and stuff, not great. But for shooters, a lot better and a lot more capable in various ways, and that's pretty interesting. But again, it's going to vary depending on the sort of games you like to play. Just for me personally, not enough bass, but it is still a rich sound. Out of the box, you get game, movie, music, and custom EQ profiles. But you'll notice if you look in Razer's Synapse software, there's also esports profiles for Apex Legends, Call of Duty, CSGO, Fortnite, and Valorant. And these include highlights on things like footsteps, gunshots, and other key sounds that will help you work out where enemies are in the world and get the upper hand on them. So I found it was a bit tinny, but the bass has been taken out on purpose to help you focus on things like that. There's also THX spatial audio settings in there as well, so that's pretty interesting too. Now, in terms of the microphones, both removable, as you can see. Now, I will say that the Razer Blackshark V2 Pro has one of the best headset microphones that I've tried. It's very rare to find a good wireless microphone on a headset, and I'll let you hear a sample of it in a minute. And the Logitech headset isn't as good, but it's not terrible, and you'll see that side by side in a second when I go into those tests. But you can see that they're both removable, so you can take them off and use an external mic if you like, and they both come with their own windshield. But if you pop those off, you'll just see the size of the Razer. So it's got a much bigger microphone on there, and that's good because obviously it means it can capture more sound, but also helps to eliminate surrounding noise from its design. They're both designed to eliminate surrounding noise, and the Logitech headset does have the advantage of software level tweaks that you can do to it as well to make it sound even better, that I'll show you in a second. So lots of things going on here. This is how the Razer Blackshark V2 Pro sounds. Now, it's worth bearing in mind that I'm not using the windshield, but more importantly, I've also tweaked the sound settings with a simple change in Razer's sign-up software where I've essentially put it into broadcast mode. But as default, it sounds pretty incredible, but that's one of the points I want to make is get Razer's sign-up software downloaded if you haven't already. Go into the settings and you can change various things in there, including normalization of levels, voice clarity settings, and noise cancellation as well. So you can do all those things, and I've showed them in the review, so be sure to go and check out that to see that in more depth. But what I wanted to highlight is just how good quality this microphone is, because it's really good sounding. It's obviously removable, which is a benefit, but you can just hear how clear that is, and it's one of the best mics on a headset out there. There are very few with really good mics, and this is one of them, and that is one of the biggest selling points. So if you want that tuned sound in terms of competitive gaming sounds inside the ear cup, but as well as a microphone that will stand up amongst the crowd, then this is it. Really good sounding quality microphone. This is the G Pro X2 Lightspeed. This is the headset in default mode, so you can see G Hub on the right hand side here where you can go in to tweak the various different settings. But for the sake of fairness, I wanted to start out without any effects applied, so you can see we have no Blue Voice turned on. This is just the default settings as it sounds out of the box. Obviously I've got the windshield on, but this gives you an idea of the quality of the microphone. You can then go in and adjust various other things by enabling the Blue Voice, which is available on the original Logitech G Pro X and the G Pro X2 and various other Logitech products probably by now. And it's a nice bit of technology because it allows you to do custom things to eliminate background noise. But if you turn it on, you'll see that we can change some of the sounds. I've hilariously got it set to bass boost here, but Broadcaster 1 and Broadcaster 2 are pretty good soundscapes. They give a rich sound to the microphone, and there are also other ones, obviously crisp and warm, classic radio. It's worth going through and sort of testing those out to see which one works for you, and then you can get into signal cleanup, which includes things like noise reduction, noise gate, compressor settings, de-esser, depopper, and limiter. You can tweak those settings and adjust them to block out some of that external noise and eliminate that. Obviously, without those turned on, you probably get a cleaner sound. But if you're finding that you've got a lot of AC and other things that are causing problems, this is what the microphone sounds like, though. And once again, if I disable Blue Voice, you can hear that as standard. It's not a bad sounding microphone, and it does have side tone as well, so it's worth noting. If you go into the standard headphone settings, you can see there's a side tone option, so you can hear yourself inside the headset with the mic monitoring, and that's pretty good, especially if you're using the faux leather ear cups, because they'll give some passive noise cancellations that'll stop you from shouting. So in conclusion, the G Pro X2 is my preference out of these two, just because of more connectivity options and flexibility there, and also the pure soundscape. I just prefer more bass personally. But the Razer headset is fantastic, and if you want a headset where the mic is the most important thing, that is definitely going to be it. Or if competitive play is your thing, then the Razer Blackshark V2 Pro 2023 edition is the one to get. Hopefully you found this video useful. If you did, subscribe and drop me a comment down below because it really helps. Thanks for watching. You've made it right to the end of the video, you brilliant legend you. If you've enjoyed it, click that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and drop me a comment down below if you've got any questions. If you really enjoyed it, consider joining the channel and see the benefits of doing so. Check out these other videos. You might well find them interesting or useful. And most importantly, have a great life.